Yes, sir. I got you, Terence. Listen, Terence, I'm happy that you finally got this big fight in the welterweight division that you have wanted, but it's certainly no secret that your original target was to get a unification with Errol Spence Jr. You have this fight now, of course, but can you speak to if there's any disappointment in not getting Errol Spence, at least not yet, and is it something that you would still strive for in the future?
Well, listen, man, I've been calling for that fight for a long time now. That fight is behind me, and the only fight that I'm focusing worried about is Sean Porter. You know, all them other fights can come in the near future if you know the opportunity presents itself.
So that was Terence Crawford on a Fight Hype interview, and one of the interviewers asked him, what do you think about the Errol Spence fight? You know, because you wanted to unify with Errol. So what do you think of the Errol Spence fight? He says right here, you know, pretty much that fight is behind him. I'll get to that in a second. But if the fight presents itself in the near future, then you know, that's what it is. It's on. Reason I'm making this is because, you know, some people, you know, were saying that, you know, I'm bashing Errol Spence, but I don't criticize Terence Crawford. But let me just quickly decipher what Bud just said. Early on, I got in Bud's ass a while back when Bud was saying he'd never fight Errol Spence. That fight is behind him. And I got in his ass. I said, no, fuck that. You gon' fight Errol. You know what I mean? Ain't none of this, you done with that's behind you bullshit. No, you gonna fight him. Period. And I went in on Terence Crawford on that, man. A lot of people were saying that was due to his frustration with Errol Spence. And I don't know, man. Listen, I'm not behind the scenes. None of us are. We don't really know what's going on, man. You know, we can only speculate. But here he said the same thing. He said, yeah, this fight is behind him, but he also is willing to entertain the fight. He just said it right there. So clearly, I don't believe he's ducking Errol Spence. He just said it right there. Errol is going to show up at that fight, and I guarantee I could probably say there's an 85-90% chance Errol Spence will get in that ring and step to Terence Crawford. I have no doubt in my mind that's what he'd do. But I had to make this because it's this misconception about me that I just hate Errol Spence and I'm in love with Terence Crawford. And that is not the case at all. I'm in love with no boxer, not even Devin Haney. If Devin Haney does something I don't like, I'm going to flame his ass too. I like Devin Haney as a boxer. I support Devin Haney. I support Terence Crawford as well. I even support Errol Spence. I just don't like the things that the way he was moving, the energy he was giving towards Bud was a little suspect to me. It was off. If he decides to step in that ring and step to Bud, he gets the utmost respect from me. Maybe there was he was serious. Maybe he said, you know, he wanted to clean up his side of the street, and then he was gonna come after Terence Crawford. And I'm pretty sure he wanted that Ugas fight, and you know, WBA is blocking that fight for the moment. And I guess the next best thing for him to do belt-wise is Terence Crawford, and I guess he's trying to press the issue on that. So if he does that, he did keep his word, you know. So I can't knock him for that, man. I'm not gonna sit up there and try to make excuses. Oh, you know, he only doing, yeah. It might seem like that on the surface. Maybe he is only coming after Terence Crawford because he's trying to avoid Boots. You could look at it like that, but to be honest, man, Errol Spence is the only one that's really been really vocal back with Boots. He's the only one that's been like, yo, you know what I mean? We could do this, or, you know, he's the only one that's been on the phone with him, and, you know, it wasn't like he really was avoiding Boots. So, I don't know if he's trying to take the path of least resistance. I don't know, but it's clear that he is the only one. Boots been calling out everybody, and Errol Spence has been the only one that's been the most vocal with Boots, man. You just got to keep it real. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. So, as far as Terence Crawford not wanting to fight with Errol Spence, I guess in the back of his mind, he's saying, I hope Errol is serious. We'll see if he step in that ring. I guess that's why he left it open where he said, if the fight presents itself in the near future. And I guess he's alluding to if Errol Spence brings his ass in that ring. And I think he will. And I think that fight is coming next year. Terence Crawford, from the grapevine, I heard that more than likely he is leaving Top Rank. This is his last fight. We will have to see, and that'll make the fight even more closer. It'll make it even more realistic if he leaves Bob Arum. But that's all I got, man. I'm off this. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later on the next one. I'm off this. Peace.